What's up, everyone? For today's MBS Whiteboard Talk, we're going to talk about training the core. Alright, so when you think of the core, what I want you to do is think of it like a balloon. Our abdominal cavity is a space that is filled with fluid and air and our organs, and it's surrounded 360 degrees by different muscles. So at the bottom of the core, we have our pelvic floor. At the top, we have our diaphragm. On the sides, we have our obliques. On the front here, we have our abdominals. On the back, we have our erectors, our QL, and some other muscles on the back as well. All right, so when we breathe, we have several different respiratory muscles. We have our diaphragm, and our diaphragm pulls downward, creating greater volume in our chest cavity, which decreases the air pressure, which allows the higher pressure air on the outside to then be forced into our lungs. But as our diaphragm goes down and increases the volume in our thoracic cavity, what it does is it decreases the volume in our abdominal cavity. Now, if we took this balloon and we pushed down on that balloon, air, assuming that this doesn't move, air is going to be dissipated outward. The balloon would squish. However, if I took that same balloon and wrapped it in duct tape this way, and duct tape this way, and some duct tape this way, and I pushed on the top of that balloon, air would not be dissipated. This would be a supporting structure on the outside, and that's how your muscles work. Now, if I took a leather belt and then wrapped it around that balloon, even less likelihood that that air is going to be dissipated outward. So you can see, for example, if we were squatting and having compressive forces going through our core, how having a strong musculature surrounding that cavity, having a belt on, is going to help us transfer force from our lower body into a bar on our back and not have force dissipated where it's bending us over or pushing us or whatever it may be. So when we are training the core, it's very important that we take into account that all of these work together. The diaphragm pushes against the pelvic floor. The obliques push against each other. The abdominals push against the erectors and the QL and everything on the back. Right? So we have to train our core 360 degrees. We cannot just try to isolate one muscle group at a time. Okay, so understanding that we're trying to create stability and transfer of force through our core, what are some of the exercises that we can use? Well, we can classify that into three different types. One, holds. These are planks, side planks, parallel holds off the GHR. They can all be weighted. Carries, farmer, suitcase, rack carries, waiter carries. And then anti-rotation exercises like landmines, Pavlov press. What we're trying to do in all these is teach our core to engage 360 degrees, all right, and create stability and anti-movement. In other words, we're trying to prevent extension, flexion, rotation, or lateral flexion. So there you have it. That's how we train the core for strength. Stay tuned for more MBS Whiteboard Talks.